Thank you, Pastor. This is not a subject that we are oblivious to at Samaritan's Purse and BGEA. How many of you in here have signed up or taken our course to be a Billy Graham chaplain? There's one. Okay, that's first assignment from me. If you want to take an assignment, you don't have to do it. There's no requirement, but go to our website or go to the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team website and sign up to become a chaplain. That will give you all the training you need, or get someone in your church. You don't necessarily have to, but get some people in your church to take the online preparation course to be a chaplain. That will help you or your congregation and members of your congregation to be prepared in time of crisis. Franklin, right after 9/11, went up to Ground Zero and saw one thing that struck him. There weren't enough people around to share with the victims or the families of the victims. There weren't enough chaplains. So he started what was called the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team. Billy Graham Rapid Response Team responds along with Samaritan's Purse. Samaritan's Purse not total, but probably 40% of their operation is crisis relief. And that's the physical part: medical supplies, water, blankets, clothing. You saw the Samaritan's Purse in Haiti, certainly in Liberia. I was in Liberia probably 6 months before Ebola hit, and we were rebuilding a hospital, Elwa Hospital, which was the major site of treatment with Dr. Brantley, who was one of our medical team, World Medical Mission team, who contracted Ebola. That was a Samaritan's Purse effort, and it was Franklin who actually made the decision to give the experimental medicine to Dr. Brantley. What he said when he found out Dr. Brantley had contracted Ebola was one of the worst days of his entire life, because he had known he'd put his own people in harm's way, and he had to call Dr. Brantley's wife and tell her that he had Ebola, which was literally a death sentence. But we're prepared for those kinds of things through experience. Samaritan's Purse is. In Oklahoma, in Kansas, in Florida, in Louisiana. I went down to Katrina, the site of Katrina. It was right after I joined Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, and landed in one of our planes on the campus in Louisiana, and then visited with a bunch of pastors when we started getting calls from West Virginia. We got in the plane and flew up to where the shooting had taken place, and landed on the campus and had a candlelight vigil that night with pastors trained through the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team chaplain training. That's ongoing. We just now, through Billy Graham, started a new extension of that, dealing with civil unrest in cities. We were on the scene in Ferguson shortly after the verdict was rendered or the decision was rendered, and our chaplains were so effective. We have a big truck that drives into town, and just a meeting room, and immediately people started coming to pray. It's a great story. We have one of our chaplains' name is Kevin. He's a former prison guard from New Jersey, but he now works at the Billy Graham Library. Kevin was also trained as a chaplain. He got on a plane to go up to Ferguson. It was a last-minute decision. Kevin is a prayer warrior, and he and his wife prayed about him going up there. It was pretty tense there, of course. Kevin got on the plane, sat in like seat 27D, threw his jacket down the seat, and it said Billy Graham Chaplain. The man across the aisle saw his jacket and said, "Oh, you're with Billy Graham." And he said, "Yes, I am." Now, one of the challenges we had getting into Ferguson was we had contacts with the police department and the fire department. They always use us because we also train fire departments and police departments in how to their chaplains on how to deal with crisis. But we didn't know how we were going to get into the community in Ferguson. This is how God works. When Kevin threw his jacket down and the gentleman said, "You're with Billy Graham," he said, "Yes, I am." And the man said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to Ferguson." And the gentleman said, "So am I." And Kevin said, "Well, what do you do there?" He said, "Well, I'm Michael Brown's pastor. And just sitting in front of me is Michael Brown Sr., work of God." So we were able to then go right into that community and help the churches, and with the pastors, help that community organize regular prayer sessions and prayer vigils. Our job is not to stay there forever. We will stay there after the fact. Samaritan's Purse will stay there a couple of years after the fact, helping people dig out and get their homes back in order. But we also stay there for prayer, but we try to bring all the pastors together in that city for a common goal. So use our website. That's the best advice I give you. Get your people trained in crisis preparedness and crisis relief. And of course, you can always call us. We're always ready to go. We have DART teams that go in. As soon as we hear about a crisis, we have a full team looking at the weather everywhere during hurricane season. Our teams are prepared to go. Tornadoes, we respond to tornadoes. We respond to every possible crisis there can be, including shootings. And again, we were up at Virginia Tech when that shooting took place, or right after that shooting took place. I'm blessed to serve with a man, and this is all Franklin's doing, I'll tell you, it's amazing how Mr. Graham did so much during his day, but how Franklin has done so much to respond to the needs of others, not only in this country, but around the world. So I would say use us, abuse us, do whatever you want, and we'll help you prepare for those crises. Thanks.